The Supreme Court rules in favor of the masterpiece Cakeshop, the media throws Bill Clinton under the bus, and Trump's trade war is heating up again. Coming up on Today with 2 cents. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Today with 2 cents, wrapping up your weekly news. Holy cow, there were a lot of news stories this week worthy of attention. First and foremost, of course, being that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the masterpiece Cakeshop owner Jack Phillips, saying he is not obligated to bake a wedding cake for a same-sex ceremony.
We're excited that the Supreme Court has decided to protect religious freedom for everybody. Justice Kennedy's opinion can be summed up as tolerance is a two-way street. That religious freedom needs to be respected just as he's respected gay rights decisions in many other contexts.
Now, many people are treating this as a victory for religious freedom. However, I'm really not inclined to think so. Justice Kennedy's explanation of the case did not set the precedent it needed to for future cases. This is, in my view, not first and foremost a case regarding religious freedom, but a case of freedom of association. If a private business owner doesn't want to serve someone, they shouldn't have to, and the people who weren't served have every right to boycott his business and encourage others to do so also. I made a video a while back called Masterpiece Cakeshop and the Beauty of Capitalism, pointing out that all this nonsense can be avoided if people are simply allowed to vote with their wallets. But no, that'll never do for the leftists. You will bake a cake for our same-sex wedding, or we'll send men with guns to shut your business down and give us every penny you have. Yet, mysteriously, they will never demand that a Muslim caterer provide pork sandwiches, or that a pro-LGBT printing company produce pamphlets for the Westboro Baptist Church.
Christmas time is here again, a time of joy and cheer. We'd rather celebrate by spreading hate and fear. If you've ever wondered why we protest and we yell, here's a Christmas song explaining why you'll burn in hell.
Well, the Me Too fires are being flamed again, but this time at former President Bill Clinton. Clinton is a well-known rapist who the left has vehemently defended during his time in office. But now that Hillary lost the presidency, they know that he's no longer useful to them and are more than willing to throw him under the bus.
A few days ago, in response to critics who have suggested that you should have resigned in the wake of the Lewinsky scandal, you said that you should not have. If you were president now, in 2018, with everything that's going on with the Me Too movement, how would you have approached the accusations differently? Well,
I don't think it would be an issue because people would be using the facts instead of the imagined facts. If the facts were the same today, I wouldn't. You asked me if I agreed. The answer is no, I don't.
And I asked if you'd ever apologized, and you said you had.
I have.
You've apologized to her.
I apologize to everybody in the world.
But you didn't apologize to her.
I have not talked to her.
Do you feel like you owe her an apology?
No, I do. I do not. I've never talked to her, but I did say publicly on more than one occasion that I was sorry.
To be honest, I'm not too concerned about whether or not Clinton apologizes to Monica Lewinsky. Whatever impropriety might have been involved in that relationship, Lewinsky herself has admitted that it was consensual. Clinton really ought to be apologizing to Juanita Broadwick, a woman that he violently raped. Yet, I'm a little disillusioned by this whole story anyways. We know darn well that if Clinton was still useful to the leftist agenda, they would still be vehemently defending him. Some of the biggest abusers of women in history are on the political left, yet leftists never care until such time as those figures cease to be useful.
Sexual harassment is a very serious charge, Mr. Griffin.
All right, look, first of all, if I can speak in my own defense, all I did was tell a little joke. Second of all, women are not people. They are devices built by the Lord Jesus Christ for our entertainment.
In a story that's caused no shortage of Twitter wars about whether or not celebrities deserve a voice in politics, Kim Kardashian West has convinced President Trump to pardon a 63-year-old woman sentenced to life in prison for drug trafficking.
I want to thank President Donald John Trump.
The president keeping up with a Kardashian plea for clemency. The White House announcing Wednesday Trump would be commuting the 63-year-old's life sentence for nonviolent drug charges. It was her first offense.
I feel like my life is starting over again. This is a miracle day.
Less than a week after Johnson's biggest supporter, Kim Kardashian West, visited the Oval Office to champion the grandmother's case.
As for the question of whether or not celebrities deserve a voice in politics, the answer is celebrities have as much of a right to share their views as anyone else does. However, their ideas stand or fall on their own merits. The fact that they are celebrities has nothing inherently to do with whether or not they are right or wrong. However, with regards to the broader question of the war on drugs, let me say clearly that the whole endeavor is a waste of time, money, and is a violation of the people's individual rights. Do I think that doing drugs is stupid? Yes. But the government should not have the right to tell you what's better for you than you do. If you want to put something in your body that's harmful to you, that's your business, so long as you're not demanding that I pay your medical bills after the fact. The people benefiting the most from the war on drugs are the drug cartels making oodles of money off this. Just think about that.
Empty alcohol containers, the driver is inebriated and covered in blood. He's got scratches on his face and arms. There's a blood-soaked corpse in the back seat. Got shovels in there, and a hand-drawn map titled, "This is where we'll hide the body."
Well, that all seems fine. Sorry to bother you, sir.
Pot! Small amount of pot! You're under arrest, dirtbag!
President Trump headed to the G7 this week, and he again expressed that he will use tariffs to protect America and fight against unfair trade policies.
The gathering of world leaders was supposed to be a celebration, but instead of highlighting the global economic expansion, the talk at this year's G7 summit is all about averting a trade war. The great disruptor, Donald Trump and his America First agenda, levying tariffs of 25% on steel and 10% on aluminum coming from allies in Canada, Mexico, and Europe. Europe's leaders are also irate and threatening sanctions on a litany of iconic American products, from Levi's jeans to Kentucky bourbon to Harley-Davidson motorcycles.
I've already made a video on this subject, but let me briefly again reiterate that tariffs are stupid. When polled in 2016, economists surveyed from numerous universities around the world unanimously answered that tariffs would not be good for the US economy, or any economy for that matter. Just think about that for a second. The fact that virtually 100% of economists from all different schools of economics think that tariffs are a bad idea does not in and of itself prove that they are. But if you're going to stand against such a firm consensus amongst the experts, you better have a darn good reason why. It is mathematically provable that tariffs can only hurt a country's economy. I'll leave a link to an article by AEI explaining this further below, but the gist of it is this. If other countries want to make things more expensive for their own citizens by tariffing American goods, let them. Don't hurt our own citizens by responding with tariffs on imported goods to America. At its core, this is no different than raising taxes to subsidize industries directly.
Taxes! Taxes! Beautiful, lovely taxes!
And that moment you've all been waiting for. Time to unveil the weekly hottie. Drumroll, please. This week's weekly hottie is singer Bebe Rexha. I'm a little late to the party with this one. The music video I'm about to show came out 7 months ago. But I discovered it earlier this week and couldn't say anything but, dang, she's hot.
'Cause I'm tired of the fake love. Show me what you're made of. Boy, make me believe.
Whoa, hold up, girl, don't you know you're beautiful? And it's easy to see. If it's meant to be, it'll be, it'll be.
There was a lot more that could be discussed this week. It was quite the news cycle. But that's it for this week's report. If you're planning on heading to the beach this summer, I've just added a My 2 Cents beach towel to my Teespring store, so pick one up and go get some sun. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and as always, that's my 2 cents. So take it for what it's worth.